Hi, let's talk about the Short A Master Kit and how to use it with your emerging reader. Order of presentation in my vowels would be A, I, O, U, and E, meaning that everything in this Short A kit is only going to be Short A words. There's going to be irregular words, and we're going to talk about those in a minute, but right now we're just going for the Short A words. When we get up to mastering Short A, go pick up the Short I kit, and then you're going to have Short I, and we're going to be bringing Short A in with it because with Orton Gillingham, which I'm an Orton Gillingham practitioner, and with any multisensory learning, or if we want to think about the science of reading, we know that we have to cycle back. We're always continually cycling back and reviewing old material. So, with that being said, how do you use the items in my kit? Well, let's go talk about it. I gave you a user guide. So the user guide, it has a little section on each of the books. The books that go in order from book 1 to book 7. The characters in the book repeat. You'll see them over and over again. They'll carry through with all my books. So if you start with book 1, then you may meet a character again that you read in book 1. You might meet him again in like book 4 or book 5. So keeping them in order is a little more fun for the kids. We have a lot of information in the user guides. For example, there's going to be the content of what's inside the book, right down to what are the consonants in the book, what are the irregular words, sometimes known as sight words, sometimes known as red words. So those would be the words like the. So THE is not doing the sounds that we would think of for the what we call the phoneme grapheme association. They don't, it just doesn't work that way. So we tell kids THE the. And so that we would call that an irregular word. We have vocab in there. We have conversation starters. Excuse me. The conversation starters are akin to comprehension skills. So we want them to be working on that right away. We want to make sure that your students are reading the words and understanding what they're reading and not just becoming word readers. And tapping back into the vocabulary, each book might have use a word a little bit differently. So for example, in the book Tam, Tam is the name of the character. But when we jump over to Nat, Nat just happens to own a hat shop and she sells Tams in her hat shop. So that would be a different use of the word. So it's good for kids to know that words can mean different things in different contexts. So these are the books. And at the back of the books, there's going to be word lists. On one side of the word list are going to be those irregular words I was talking about. And on the other side of the list is going to be the words that were only in the book. So having the students read those words in isolation before you read the books are great, great practice. Having them read afterwards, even better practice. So the more often our students read the words, the closer they'll become to being automatic. And that's what we're shooting for. We're looking for accuracy and automaticity. So we've got wooden card holders, which I'm super excited about. They have been made by a friend of mine who's a woodworker in northern Minnesota. And then they were engraved by a woman that I met at a local women's group here in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. So that's super exciting to me. The card holders are handy for little hands. Free it up. So when I work with my students, we do a lot of tracing. If a student is to get stuck on a word and they can't read it, I have them trace with their little two fingers in their writing hand, and we'll say the letters. So let's say the word cat, at. They get stuck, they'll just trace it on the table, cat, until they get the word to come back to them. Now, this is the game I was talking about. Sal Val Hal is a really big deck of cards. And you will see that you can do anything you want with the cards. Use them for flashcards, make up games that you want. They come with instructions. You can follow the instructions. You don't have to follow the instructions. What's important? It's important is that the kids are reading the words over and over and over again until they're so automatic that they can't not read that word. Example of that would be the word stop. When we come to a stop sign, we can't not read that word because we've read it so many times. That's what we're shooting for with our students. We want it to become orthographically mapped. So keep playing those games as many ways as you want. Another fun game that I've added here are tic-tac-toes. So don't just put the pieces on there. They have to read the word before they put the piece on. So if you got a competitive kid, they will be reading hundreds of words the whole time without even realizing it because they just want to play the game over and over and over again. So use the magic wand, put the little chips on there, swipe it off, play it again. You've got many boards in this kit to play. So you can play over and over again, have them play with different members of their families. Before you know it, they'll have those short A's mastered. Now, whiteboard. Why do I have a whiteboard in here? Well, because spelling is just as important as reading. If they can spell the word, they're going to be able to read the word. So choose a few words from the back of the book that they read, that they just read, or maybe some of the other books that they had read prior to this session with you. Short A, that is, and dictate the word. I would dictate 8 to 12 words with them. After they're done writing them, have them read the words back to you. Erase and write some more words. Have the kids sound out when they're writing. So if the word's cat, at. And make sure when they're saying their sounds that you get rid of that at the end. So nobody's saying ta or ka. We want clipped sounds that are smooth. K, t, a. Now, I gave you a lot of information here, but maybe not enough. And if you want more information on why we do short A, I would go to my blog post, which is all about short A. It sounds simple. A lot of people like to use grapheme phoneme drills. I do. I have a sound, I just refer to it as a lower level sound pack on my website that you can get for free. If you download it, print it out on cardstock, you can do a quick drill with your students and just show them the cards and make sure that they're getting those phoneme grapheme associations correctly. K, at, like that. So you just be flipping the cards. Now, do you have questions? I have office hours. So contact me. I will give you a Zoom link and I'll meet you there any Monday from 12 to 1 and we can chat. This has been great. I'm excited that you guys are holding on to my kits and you're going to be able to use them. And I look forward to seeing some of you people on Zoom and have a great day. Thanks a lot.